it's way different than what we're usually doing. Back in the garage today. On today's agenda, we are going to tear Paul's bike down, try to get the motor tore apart so I can send the jug and all of the pieces that need to go to the machine shop off so we can get them back in a timely manner and get that project done. At some point today, we may pull a couple other new projects in, I'm not sure. So let's see where we get on this today. That motor is ready to come out of this chassis, and once I get the motor out of it, like I said a couple videos ago, I'll come in and finish welding the frame. I got everywhere that I could reach with everything together, so while I welded it, it didn't distort the frame at all. So I'll go ahead, pull the 2 engine mounts that are on the bottom out, flop this thing out on the bench. I think it's gonna be sweet. Coffee's so good. All right, here we go. Oh, this is way easier with 2 people, by the way. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Dun, 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 dun. All right, like I said earlier, now that I got the motor out, you can see that it gives me a lot more room to come in and finish welding this frame up. Like these mounts here, those mounts there. Actually able to get down on top of here and inside the back side of the lower side of the chassis. So I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up and we'll fire up the TIG welder and do a little preheat on this aluminum and see if we can get this thing final welded. I've had a couple people comment in the comment section on a few videos of they want to see more of the process and what I'm doing to weld the aluminum. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but just for the few people that have commented, just so you know, I do read the comments even if I don't get back to you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through all of them. I got a lot going on kinda, but I do appreciate every one of them. I read every single one of them. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you kind of my process for prepping of the aluminum so I can get a decent quality weld. Keep in mind, I do not claim to be a professional TIG welder on aluminum, but I haven't had one break yet, so I must be doing something right. So before I even start welding any kind of aluminum, I clean it. The best way to do it is to acid wash it with Aluma brightener or something like that and get as much grease, grime, and dirt off of anywhere where you're gonna weld. So I just do the whole thing. Next step I do is I wipe it down with a acetone and try to get as much grease and grime that the acid wash didn't get. And then the next step is I will hit it with a clean, fairly new, I'll go through a wire brush, I'll probably go through one of these every project. This is another new one that I just bought for Paul's project. By the time I get done, I'll just throw this in the trash or use it over in the solvent tank. Next step, after I scrub the area with acetone and then the stainless steel brush, I'll preheat the area, especially if it's thick and it's a very dense area, because aluminum is a gigantic heat sink. It displaces heat very rapidly. So try to bring this up to somewhat of some temperature, and it's going to help the aluminum rod flow into the material. Then final step, I will take my aluminum rod, I will wipe it down with this gray scuff pad, and then I will wipe the rod down with acetone, and then I'm ready to weld, as long as this is still warm. If it's cooled off a little bit, I'll warm it back up and then we'll go to welding. So that being said, let's get welding this thing up. Well, check that out. my old chrome dome. I mean, old dinger right there. So, little safety briefing. When you have the frame sitting on the table, right side up, and you're leaning down, moving cables around, it hurts when it falls off the table and hits you in the head. Ow. Well, PULS frame's all welded up. It didn't take too long, probably, I don't know, an hour or so, but as usual, this thing is just firecracker hot. I mean, you could pretty much cook the goose egg that's on top of my head that this thing made when it hit me. But, you know, hard hat area and stuff. Anyhow, this thing's all welded up. We're gonna let her rest and cool off slowly. And I mean, I'm kind of waiting on parts anyway, so maybe I'll pull in a different project. I think you guys are gonna like this one. This thing's a little off, out of the normal, but it's gonna be kind of fun. Ah, come on, there we go. I told you it was something different. So this is what we got going on. So I just found out last weekend that they are doing lawnmower races. And let's face it, my neck, it was glowing like a freaking beer light in a freaking saloon. I mean, how can I not build a racing lawnmower? So that's what we're doing. And it doesn't look like much, but to be right honest with you, all I want off of this thing is the body. A little bit of the frame, but that's it. So I'm gonna get this thing flipped around a little bit on the lift. I'm gonna start tearing this thing apart. We'll see if Jace or one of those other guys that are gonna be involved with this thing shows up, and we'll get this baby tore down. But check out the patina on this old girl. Man, it's sick. I don't have any idea what year, make, or model this thing is, but I dare say it's probably as old, if not older than I am. So if any of you guys are lawnmower experts, go down in the comment. Tell me what make, model, and about yearish this thing is. I'm pretty curious to know. This thing's pretty sweet, man. I mean, check it out. It's so custom already, it's not even funny. I mean, just in case you wanna, you know, lock the doors. Got an old school door lock, you know, door switch out of probably a, I don't know, Ford of some sort or something, who knows. Custom battery box holder, you know, I mean, because who doesn't need a little more weight on the back of the tractor? Makes sense. Sweet, I mean, talking sweet battery cable ends. Check that out. Yeah, we'll use that again. We won't. But I mean, check out this rear push bar, rear bumper. I mean, dude, thing is sick. Custom hitch. I mean, this thing is just so custom, it's not even funny. I can't wait to restore this thing 100%. Not gonna do that either. Briggs & Stratton 400cc 4-stroke single lunger. We're gonna use that. No, we're not gonna use that one. I bet you guys can guess what's going in this thing for a power plant. So if you can, drop a comment below, and let's see how many of you can actually guess what's going to go in this thing for a power plant. That'll be fun. Well, got the old racing tractor all tore down, and there's not much left of this thing. There's a lot of garbage in this thing, like this rear bumper. Woo! That thing's a piece of artwork right there. Funny thing of it is, there's only like 2 bolts holding it in, so I don't think it did a lot of good. But anyhow, we got this thing all tore down. Check her out. So once I get a set of rules this week, I'll make a plan. I think I know what I want to do with this thing. I know what I want for a power plant for it. Like I said, comment below. Tell me what you guys think it's going to be for a power plant, or what you would like to see in it for a power plant. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.